Guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Nova Gnome Creations and I'm Nova, and today I'm coming on here to show you guys how to increase with a magic circle. So if you are doing amigurumi or anything where you're going to start with a magic circle and work your way out, this is how you'll do it. So to start with, I wanted to show you how this might be written in your pattern so that it helps you to know if this applies to you and if this is what you're looking for. So the beginning of it, it's going to start with a magic circle or a magic ring. So it may say MC or MR. And it may have a number after it. So it may say like MC6. If it says that, it's just assumed that this is going to be a single crochet, so 6 single crochets in a magic circle, or it may say like magic ring, 6 single crochets or something along that line, and then it could say to increase. This is going to be shorthand, so it may say, it might be a little longer. It might say increase around or something like that. And then it may say like single crochet 2 increase, single crochet 3 increase, single crochet 4 increase. You get the idea. But it also may say something like single crochet 1, 2 single crochets in next stitch. And I'm sorry that my handwriting is like not looking great right now. So it may say something along that lines where it says to 2 single crochets in the next stitch instead of saying an increase, but that is an increase stitch. And then also it may, since you're going to be going around, a lot of times, repeating, like patterns are going to be in asterisks. So it might say, single crochet 3 increase, and then it might say like times 6 or something. And all that means is if it's in the asterisks that you're just going to repeat this, and it's usually you're repeating it around, but you're repeating it whatever this number tells you to. And then it also may be in brackets or something. It may say to do that, and it would be, the same thing. And you are just assumed to repeat that. So hopefully that helps you to understand how it's written a little bit, and know if this is what you're looking for. So this is going to be how to start with a magic circle and increase your way out. Okay, to start out, I'm going to make a magic circle. So I have here a worsted weight number 4 yarn, and I have a number 5 millimeter or an H hook. And you can use whatever yarn and whatever hook corresponds to what your pattern tells you to, or whatever you prefer. And I'm just going to start out with making my magic circle. So if you need extra help with the magic circle and how to do that, I actually have a slowed down little video to tell you how to make a magic circle. So if you need help with that, I will have that linked in the description, and you can head over there and check that out and then come back and resume this one. So I'm going to pull my little tail out of my magic circle, and this is going to be what we work in. Now, when you work in a magic circle, you're going to hold this little tail with your circle. So you're going to work over both of these. And to start for this, we're going to do 6 single crochets in a magic circle. So we're doing 3, 4, 5, and 6. And this is just how you start out when you're doing a magic circle increase, because you have to start with your magic circle. So this is just the basic beginning to make your magic circle. So then I'm going to pull on my tail and get it most of the way closed. And then I'm going to find my first stitch. So I know there are 6 stitches. I'll count my way back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And the next thing that we're going to do, since we're going to be increasing, is we're going to increase in that first stitch. So to increase, you go into the stitch and you place a single crochet, and then you place a second single crochet in the same stitch, so that you have 2 single crochets in that same stitch. And I'm just going to place a stitch marker in the first single crochet that I just placed, so that I know that this is my first stitch of the round. And then at this point, I'll go ahead and give a more tight tug on my magic circle and close it up the rest of the way so that there's no hole in the middle. And in order to make sure that you guys know what I'm doing, I have here what I'm doing. So like I said, I'm just showing you how you will increase from a magic circle. So this is just going to be a really straightforward standard increase. You're going to see this in a lot of patterns. Starting with 6 single crochets is really, really common. Most times when you start with a magic circle, you start with 6 single crochets in it. So if you're increasing your way up, without any, rows of doing just single crochets or something like that in between, this is what you're going to do like every time you're increasing. So you're going to see this a lot in patterns, but I will put that right here. And so you can reference that if you need to. So the next thing we're going to do is we still have 5 more stitches that we haven't worked in. We're going to put an increase into each one, which, like I said, it may be written on your pattern as putting 2 single crochets into each stitch, which is exactly what we're going to do. So we're placing 2 single crochets into each stitch around. And you can keep count if you need to. You can keep count of making sure that you go into each of the 6 stitches. So for me, that was 4 stitches, which will give me a total of 8 right now, since I have 2 in each stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then over these next 2, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So you began with 6 stitches and you will have 12 because you increased in every stitch around. Then the next thing we're going to do is take our stitch marker out so we can work into this first stitch, and to continue increasing our way around, we're going to single crochet increase, and we're going to do that all the way around. And all that is single crocheting in the first stitch. Putting our stitch marker back in here, and I would highly recommend using a stitch marker when you're working this way, when you're working in the round like this, so that you know when you get back to the beginning. So you did your first one, which was a single crochet. In the next stitch, you're going to do an increase, which is 2 single crochets in the same stitch. Then you're just going to do a single crochet in the next stitch, and then increase in the next stitch. And we're just going to keep alternating around, repeating 1 single crochet in this stitch and 2 single crochets in the next stitch. And pull some yarn out. And if at any point you can't remember if you've done a single crochet or an increase at the last stitch, all you have to do is look at your work. Sorry, making sure you're focused there. And you'll see the when you have 2 stitches in there, it's pretty easy to tell because it's going to look a lot more bulky than when there's 1 stitch in a or 2 stitches in a single stitch, or 1 stitch in a single stitch. So you should be able to look at it and tell, okay, these both come out of here and there are 2 of them. And then for this one, you see there's only 1. So you go to this one, okay, I see that there are 2 coming out of it. And let me isolate that for you so you can really tell. So you see that you've got 2 stitches there, and so that you'll know that the next one for this particular round is going to be a single crochet. And then back to increase for the next one. And then back to single crochet in this one. So that'll help you to keep it straight if you think of it as an increase. So we just did a single crochet, we're doing an increase. It'll help you keep it straight if you think of it as an increase, because you can keep it more simple in your mind than trying to think, okay, and now 2 stitches into the next stitch. You can just say, okay, single crochet, increase, single crochet, increase, and work your way around doing that pattern. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to do 2 single crochets and then an increase. So we're going to remove our stitch marker. We're going to place a single crochet, and we're going to put our stitch marker back into that first stitch of the round. And like I said, we are doing the single crochet 2 increase, which also might be written as single crochet 1 and 2 single crochets in the next stitch, depending on your pattern. So we've got 1 single crochet in, and we're going to do the second single crochet in the next stitch. So 1 single crochet in the first, 1 single crochet in the second, and then in this third stitch, we're going to do our increase, which is going to be 2 single crochets in the same stitch. So here's what we've got so far, and we're just going to repeat that around. So I would think of it as single crochet, increase. And you can think of it however works best for you. If it works best for you, you can think, single crochet 1, single crochet 2, and 2 in the same stitch. Whatever works best for you. I just personally find it's easier to get into a rhythm saying single crochet, increase, single crochet, increase, and then it helps you to remember what stitch you're on. So single crochet, increase. And like I said, if you need to, you can always stop and check your work to see where you're at. So you can see that this might be easier for me to point with something small. Okay, you can see that this right here is a stitch, and this right here is a stitch, and they're coming out of the same spot. So you know that you've got 2 in there if you need to count, if you need to look back and see. And then you can see that this is 1 single crochet, and this is 1 single crochet, and these are in their own stitches because they come from their own little spot. So hopefully that makes sense to you and you can see that. And then you'll just continue your way around. So we have single crochet, increase, which is 2 stitches in the same stitch. Then we have single crochet, and we end on an increase. So when you're working in the round like this, whatever you start with, say for example you start with your single crochet, you're going to end with a double crochet, or not a double crochet, I'm sorry. You're going to end with an increase stitch. So if you're working a pattern in the round, that you'll always end with whatever you don't start with. So sometimes they will be written, let me get my little sticky note back out. Sometimes they will be written differently actually, and you won't start with a single crochet. So sometimes there are patterns that are going to start with your increase and then have you single crochet. And they may have you single crochet, you know, whatever number. It depends on how far you are into increasing or what your pattern is. So in this circumstance, if you're starting with an increase, you'll know that when you get to that last stitch, it should be a single crochet. I personally like to do the single crochets first. It's a lot easier to know that you're doing the right amount of stitches when you're ending with an increase, because you have less increases usually than single crochets. But yeah, that's just a little good rule of thumb if you need to kind of keep track of it, but you didn't count or anything. You know, you'll know that you're not right. You'll know something went wrong if you're starting with a single crochet and ending with a single crochet on an increase round. Because if you're just straight up increasing, you won't end with a single crochet if you start with a single crochet. So hopefully that helps a little bit. The next step would be to do single crochet 3 increase. So we're just going to single crochet into our first stitch, put that stitch marker back, and do a further 2 single crochets because we want to hit a total of 3 single crochets before we increase. So now that we have 1, 2, 3 single, or sorry, I didn't realize it wasn't focused. There we go. Now that we have with our stitch marker in this first stitch, we have 1, 2, and 3 single crochets. We're going to place an increase or 2 single crochets into the same stitch. And that's what a single crochet 3 increase will look like. So single crochet, next stitch, single crochet, next stitch, single crochet. That gives us 3 single crochets, and then in the next stitch we place 2 single crochets for our increase. So single crochet 1, single crochet 2, single crochet 3, and increase. And this is how you're going to increase your whole way around. Single crochet 1, single crochet 2, single crochet 3, and increase. And I will finish doing that and meet you back. So you know that you are on the right track if you're ending with an increase in that last stitch. So if you need to continue, the next step would be to single crochet 4 and then increase, because we just did 3. And to do that, we will remove our stitch marker and single crochet into that first stitch, and then replace our stitch marker so that we can keep track of that. And then with that 1 already on here, we're going to go ahead and do a further 3 to hit the 4 single crochets that we want. So when you have a total of 1, 2, 3, and 4 single crochets, the next stitch is going to be an increase. So we're going to put 2 single crochets in that same stitch. And we're just going to repeat this around again. So 1, 2, 3, and 4 single crochets, each having their own stitch. And then in this next stitch, we're going to place 2 single crochets. And we're just going to repeat that around. So this is something that you're going to do for amigurumi. You're going to do this for a lot of things where you're going to make a ball or something like that, something round or something that is going to cup up. So you would just continue this until you get to the width that you're wanting before you're going to switch to, say, single crochets all the way around, and then it's going to start kind of cupping up. So hopefully this was helpful. Also, if you are making amigurumi, just a little tip that this is the outside of your amigurumi right now. So an easy way for you to keep track of that is the side that's the inside is going to have your magic circle tail on it. And you'll notice that these stitches look different on the inside versus the outside. Now, obviously, you can do your amigurumi or whatever you're making any way that you want. If you prefer the look of these stitches, of this side of the stitches, that is totally fine, and you can do that. But as a general rule of thumb, just in case you're not familiar with amigurumi and you don't know, this is considered the outside. So what that means is, let's say that you get to a point where, well, for one, when you're done with it and you're going to stuff it, you're going to want to be able to flip it the right side out before you stuff it. But also what that means is, let's say that you have a instruction to do back loops only. That's going to help you to know which ones are the back loops. So when you're working this way right now, you may be confused about that, but really you're going to be looking at it like this because this is the outside. So say that it wanted you to work in the back loop only. This right here is going to be your back loop. And you would just do a single crochet in a back loop just like this. So I'll show you one more time. This little V right here is the stitch, and this one right here is the back. And this is how you do a single crochet in just the back loop only. And don't mind that they look a little bit loose if you have to do back loop only stitches. They won't stay looking like that as you go around. But yeah, so this is the side that, you might have had up while you were working. So hopefully that helps you to understand where the back loops are. You just think of it like if you turn it to look at it from above, that it's going to be this loop right here. So hopefully that helps. And if you have any other questions or things that you would like me to make tutorials for you, just send me an email or comment them in the comment section below. I'm more than happy to do that for you. And I hope everybody has a great day. If you found this helpful, please leave a comment below and don't forget to like and subscribe. I will see you guys on the next video. Bye guys!